So hi everybody, it's Georgia Rose. I have not been on in a while. Last week I actually had a Reiki circle on Tuesday night, so I didn't do my Tuesday night lives. But I am back. I hope you guys missed me. I don't know if you did or not, but I'm back. And tonight I want to talk about a bunch of stuff, and I also am going to pull some cards. So if you log on, I will pick a card for you if you let me know in the comments that that is something that you would like me to do. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about. These are very intense times. I don't know if all of you have been feeling that yet, but we have a lot of things going on with the planets, and Pluto and Saturn are conjunct, which means they're like kind of on top of each other. Hi, Jackie. And when that happens, it brings in a lot of karmic things, a lot of karmic debris, a lot of karmic debt. So some of us might be feeling very intense changes, whether they're good changes or just change. And that's going to be with us for quite a while. It might have some intense emotions. We've got a couple of other planets in the mix, but what's this time really about, and what's this energy really about? I think it's about consciousness. I think that there are a lot of things going on in the world right now, and with Pluto and Saturn in the particular formation they are with the South Node, which is our past and our karma. I think this is a lot about our consciousness being raised. And for those of you who've had spiritual awakenings or spiritual challenges, hi Janine, you know that when the consciousness awakens, it's not always pleasant until we really ride it out. And so I think that some of us are going through some deep change in this energy, and I think those changes are coming in the structures of our life. I think that depending on what house is Capricorn in your chart, that these can come in daily structures of health. They can come in daily structures of the very stable things that are in your life, whether it's job or home, or a lot of us will be moving under this transit. And a lot of us will be really coming into our purpose. And so we've been in this energy for a little while. It's going to continue to the end of the summer and then throughout the end of the year. But this is like a really critical, deep karmic time. So I was thinking a lot about this because this particular transit is affecting me deeply in many aspects of my life because of where it is in my chart. And a lot of the work that I think many of us are doing now, hi Andra, a lot of the work that, thank you, a lot of the work that a lot of us are doing now, I think really has to do with our life purpose and the deep meaning of what we really value. And so when we start to think about that, what we value becomes less about the three-dimensional world and more about the love in our hearts and the love we have for loved ones and family and the things that really ignite us and give us the power of our spirit. And I think that's really the transformation that's coming in this last year of the decade. I think 2020 and beyond is going to be us really changing a lot of the stabilities in our life and a lot of the structures in our life to become more meaningful. And I think you're going to see a lot of people in this energy kind of give up the things that they've always been doing and on that hamster wheel and on that rat race, and really just start to live a meaningful life, whatever that is to them and whatever valuable means to them. It's going to be different for each one of us. And I think that has a lot to do with Pluto and Saturn and the configurations that we're going to be in. But getting back to consciousness, in a lot of my meditations that have been coming out is consciousness and raising that consciousness. Hi, Joanne. And raising that consciousness and finding the place in our hearts, in our real soul of not only what we value, but the way that we really want to live our life. And so that's how these transformations are coming in, and we're finding them very deep, and even within ourselves, some unexpected things are happening. So I was having a lot of meditations about consciousness and different levels, and obviously I've been on this spiritual journey for a good decade myself now. So my conscious level is very high and very deep, and I'm very aware and very raised in consciousness. And I started to think about love, and you know, it sounds simple, but how do we love, and the way that we love, and what we choose to love in our lives, and who we choose to love, and the relationships. And I realized I was listening to a video by Kim Eng, who is one of Eckhart Tolle's people, and she was talking about how we love from the level of consciousness that we are. And I thought about that, and I brought it into a lot of the ideas of my own relationships. And when I think about that, and I think about the interactions, the connections that I've had in my life, they absolutely make sense to me that those were really wherever I was in my conscious level, wherever I was in my awareness, of what life really was, what I value, and what's really meaningful to me. And when I started to think like that, it also helped me not only forgive myself for certain things, but forgive others, because I really started to think about, well, they loved based on the level of their consciousness. And I brought this into light with my own parental relationships and things like that, and realized who my parents really were in that consciousness level and where they came from. And for a lot of us who are of the Pluto in Virgo generation, which is like 1957, 58 to about, I'll say 1972, 73, our parents were raised in war. Our parents were World War II people, especially if we were raised by parents from European countries, that affected them heavily. So they had a level of consciousness throughout their life that was really based on their upbringing. And I think that had a lot to do with the way that we were raised. And so now our generation, you have the millennials, and everyone says, oh, millennials are so entitled and they're this and they're that. Well, because they were raised by our level of consciousness, which was, they say the me generation, right? So what is your level of consciousness? And how would you describe it in relation to your relationships? And now think about the level of consciousness of other people in your life. And I oftentimes hear empaths like myself talking about how they attract narcissists. And I think to myself, well, yeah, because if you think about the level of consciousness, a narcissist on some level always wants someone who's going to give them attention and nurture them and make them number one. And as empaths and as light workers, isn't that what we do? So really, the level of consciousness you're at plays a part in the relationships in your life and how you approach everything. But it also really plays a part in how people relate to you. And, I often talk in these videos about not being trapped by spirituality and that good girl, good boy image of like, oh, well, I have my consciousness raised now and I'm very aware, so I have a bigger responsibility to be nice. But at what cost to ourselves is that niceness? And so I think the first responsibility in where we are in our consciousness is to ourselves, and raising our consciousness level to be in self-love and self-awareness. And isn't that really what it means to come out of the third dimension and go into the fifth dimension? And so I want to talk very briefly about dimensions, because I had a reading last Wednesday with a beautiful friend of mine, Peter Marks, and we were talking about guides, and I was saying, I know so many readers and light workers and psychics like myself will, contact their guides, and their guides bring in the messages, and I myself have never worked that way. I have guides, of course. Hi, Michael. I have guides, of course, and I have guides that I utilize in my readings, but I really don't specifically know who they are. I know Saint Germain is a guide. He's my main guide. I know him. But I never really read and see the guide come in and know the energy and whatever. I work in angelic energy. I can distinguish that. And so Peter and I were having this really deep conversation about this, because he reads strictly through his guides, and amazingly so. He's very gifted. He's pretty well known. And hi, Jason. And so what happened was we talked about the idea of guides, and I said I don't really know my guides, and I just get my messages. They just come in. I'm claircognizant and clairvoyant, and they just comes to me when I do a reading. All of a sudden, someone's energy will be there, and I read it, and they give me a message. And he said, well, Georgia, that's because your guides are in the seventh dimension. You have master guides. You don't have guides that are, in lower dimensions. And so I started to think about that. And when I came away from that, I really realized he was right. And I get a lot of what I call downloads at night when I'm sleeping and things like that. I know it sounds foreign to some of you out there, but that's really how it works for me. And so I started to think about what level of consciousness I was on. And so when I really started to think about it, most of the time I think I'm in like the fifth dimension. Fifth dimension is a place of love. It's a place where we are still human and we still feel everything, but we try and emanate love instead of fear. We're working through that, and so our first thought, our instincts become, we have been reprogrammed. Hi, Catherine. We've been reprogrammed to come from a place of love instead of our instinctual emotions like fear. And I'll explain that a little more in a little bit. So we mostly live in the third dimension. And the third dimension is a dimension where we are conscious of the things around us. We're conscious of our wants and needs and desires. We react from pain. We react from anger. We sometimes react from love. But we're instinctively reacting. In the third dimension, we don't really give a whole lot of thought to what we're doing. We do, on a conscious level, but we don't go deeper than that. Typically in a third dimension, if you're in a conflict with someone, and suppose suppose someone's yelling and screaming around your living room and you're having an argument or family problem or whatever conflict. In the third dimension, you're going to go right back at them. You're just going to have to win. You're in survival mode. You're grinding it out every day. You come home, you're in a loop. This is the third dimension. It's just survival. It's just, you love and you have loved ones and you have things you love to do. But for the most part, you're reacting out of instinct in everything you do. It is, someone pokes you, you're going to poke them harder. Someone yells at you, you're going to yell louder. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you're going to flip them the bird. That's the third dimension. That's a third dimensional being. At the same time, if someone loves you, you're going to love them back. You're instinctively reactive about everything. And then one day you have a little bit of an awareness come to you. Maybe something happens in your life in a crisis, or you have a challenge and you really feel the need to now go a little deeper in your thought process and your behaviors. And so now you start to have a little bit of awareness, right? And you start to see a different way that maybe you could act and react based on an actual conscious thought process instead of just, you poke me, I'm poking you back kind of thing. So now you start to enter the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is where we start to see really a lot of duality in our behavior and the behaviors of others. And we start to see the way we really like to act as opposed to the way we're acting. And so the fourth dimension is sometimes really tough to be in because you're going to stay there a while you restructure your life. And so with this transits that we're having long term with Pluto and Saturn in the South Node in Capricorn, look at where Capricorn is in your chart, that energy is the energy. It's a fourth dimensional kind of restructuring, kind of let me do a life review, look at my life, where did I go wrong, where could I do better, and you're seeing things different. So if I had to use one word to describe the fourth dimension, it would be change. It would be awareness and change. Change would be the one word. So then once you're working through the fourth dimension, and hi Judy, and you realize that, I need to change some things, you're starting to think a little more with love. Now someone starts, maybe same situation, someone starts yelling around your living room, or you're having a conflict with a family member, and you're in the fourth dimension now. So now you're thinking not in terms of, I'm going to take this MF out, I'm going to yell right back, how dare they, blah, blah, blah. Now you're kind of calmer, and you start to think a little bit. You're not reacting from instinct. You're reacting more from conscious thought. And so it's going to be like, yeah, I really want to, go back at this person, but I don't think I'm going to, because I don't like the way it feels when I do that. And I'm going to think about it a little more. I'm not going to let this person push my buttons so much. And that's the transitional phase. So fourth dimension is the change, it's the transition. It's almost like you wake up and you realize something's wrong and you got to change it. That's fourth dimension work. And then you start to get into fifth dimension where you've changed some things. You're actively in the changes and you see love in everything. You go outside, the sky's bluer than it's ever been. And you realize there's just this other way to live besides the way you start out with the third dimension in the world. And so now the situation changes to the point of you're in conscious thought and choices, and you utilize your free will to bring you to a higher place. You're not in the three-dimensional instinctive, you poked me, I'm poking you back. You're not in the fourth dimension of, I know there's something wrong here, I don't want to act like I used to, I need to change something, but I'm not really sure what direction to go in. Now the fifth dimension, you know for certain how your soul really wants to respond to these situations. So now in the fifth dimension, same situation, maybe someone's screaming around the living room, you're having a conflict with a family member or a spouse or whoever, and in the fifth dimension, you sit there and you watch this person and you are completely in observance and they're not pushing your buttons, and you start to think, wow, this person is really wounded, they're in a lot of pain to act this way. I'm seeing this, I feel their pain, what can I do to make this better? And you remove yourself from it, and you literally can put yourself aside now and go into love and put love in the situation and try and do the best you can for your higher self, for your best life, and for that person as well. That's living in the fifth dimension. The ego dissolves, love takes over, your heart and soul respond from a real conscious free will, wanting to do the right thing, right action, emotion, and belief and instinct. And the instinct of, you poke me, I'm going to poke you harder. The instinct of, oh, you give me a hug, I'll give you a hug. The response instinct becomes conscious thought from the soul. And that's fifth dimension. For the most of the time, most of us who are spiritually awakened, hi Linda, hi Colleen, most of us who are spiritually awakened most of the time try to live in the fifth dimension, but we vacillate back and forth because we're having a human experience. And if we were in love and lollipops and roses all the time, there would be no growth in our life, because we need the change, we need the hardship, we need the challenge, we need the wound to grow, to learn, to have wisdom, to help others. Otherwise, we wouldn't learn. So that's the energy. And so I think you're going to see people around you, ourselves, going to higher dimensions. If you're in a high dimension already and you're a light worker and you usually are in that fifth dimension, you're going to find yourself going even higher. I think if you are in 3D, you're going to find yourself moving from 4D to 5D, rapidly acceleration in this energy. And this will be with us towards the end of the year, mostly towards like fall time. I think that that's the energy. And I just wanted to have that conversation because as we're working through this energy, and especially when Pluto and Saturn approach that south node in Capricorn where they are now, and they'll be doing a dance back and forth as they're retrograde, what I can really relate this to is this is the cleaning out of the wound. This is like when you get a cut on your hand and you have to clean it. You got to put, the Neosporin on it, the betadine on it, and all that stuff on it. And it hurts like heck to do it, but you have to do it because it's going to clean it out and make it better. And the reward is going to come once that heals. And you'll never have a wound like that again. And that's very much the outside part of this energy as we work through the fourth dimension and go into the fifth dimension. This energy is the energy that Spirit has created in the universe because he wants us to accelerate our ascensions and really become love in our life. In order to do that, we have to clean out the wounds that are making us act from instinctive reaction and reactionary behaviors. So I hope that makes sense to everybody because that's really what I'm feeling this energy is like. And so the tail end of that energy that we're going to be receiving along with this is rewards. And so just like that wound that you clean it out, if you clean it out really well, it's going to heal fast and it's going to heal well and you won't have a scar, right? But if you don't clean it, you let it fester and you don't ever heal and it just keeps going on and on, that wound never really changes, never really transcends or transforms, then you have to live with that wound forever and you don't ever get better. So this is the energy that will give you the reward if you clean out the wound properly by healing it. And I was talking to a beautiful friend of mine on the phone the other night, Kat Mayer, and she said, I keep seeing trumpets. All the energy, I feel like it's rewards, and I keep seeing trumpet. And in the tarot, trumpets, the trumpet card is, I would call it the trumpet card, but the card in the tarot, I have a picture of it up. For me, that card is rewards, and it's exactly the energy of what we're going through. It's like we have to reemerge and rebirth and reinvent. And I know so many times people will go online and you'll watch people on YouTube, myself included, and they say that all the time. Oh, this is about reinvention and rebirth and renewal. And it seems like a loop that we're all talking about all the time. But what I can tell you is that this last year of the decade, with the energy that's coming in, with Pluto and Saturn and the South Node in Capricorn, doing this dance until the end of the year is the most critical and karmic time for that energy, for the cleaning out of the wound, the rebirth, doing your karmic work, doing the work you're supposed to do in order to get to that reward. The universe wants to reward you. Saturn is a very heavy planet. It's a planet of authority. It's a planet of karma. It's a planet of time. But it's not a malefic planet. It's a planet that wants you to do your work so it can give you the reward. Saturn is more about rewards than it is about giving you challenge. And a lot of people confuse that. We need the challenge to get to the reward. And that's what this energy is really about for the rest of the year. The big part comes January 11th, 2020, when we have a conjunction, which I'll talk about later on in a different video, which is something that will only happen once in our lifetime and probably hasn't happened for about 500 years. Some of the planetary aspects that are happening have never happened. And you have to ask yourself, why did Spirit incarnate me? Why was I born at a time when I am going to experience this great karmic, very important energy? Well, the reason is because he wants to drag you kicking and screaming into your purpose. And so I feel very privileged to have been incarnated and born during this energy. So I'm going to use it to the utmost ability that I can. And so that means planning a new business venture. It means really working on my relationships. It means becoming so aware every day to do my spiritual practice of meditation and whatever else I need to really be in a higher consciousness, because that's the purpose of this energy and why we're all here, to evolve and expand. And the higher we bring our consciousness, the deeper we can love. And that's really the mission. When people say, well, we're here to love and be loved, that is true. But we're not here to remain in a straight line stagnation on that. We're meant to keep elevating and evolving till we love at the fullest capacity we can possibly love with. And that's what's most powerful, is our love that we can have in this world. And the other thing that's most powerful to us, and this is the second part of what I wanted to talk about tonight, and that's why we're going to get some cards, is our intuition. The most powerful senses we have are not our five senses, they're above that. And that is what this energy is about. That is what the next decade from 2020 on is going to be about. It's about opening ourselves up to the higher senses beyond the five senses. And that's why all of a sudden everyone's psychic, everyone's doing readings, everyone's doing Reiki attunements, everybody's getting all this stuff. It's not going to dilute that. It's going to make it more and more powerful, because as that vibration raises in the world and ripples out, every child being born is going to be highly psychic. Everybody being born is going to be able to live above their five senses. That is a natural evolution of our species. If you think about the animal kingdom, they have communicated telepathically for centuries. You know, anyone with more than one dog knows dogs communicate. They don't talk. So, you know, people are able to do that more and more and more. And so I do not fool myself into thinking that I'm unique in my ability to read and speak to people who have crossed over. I think that we can all do that. It just takes focus, clearing out our life and living a clean life so we have a clear connection to do that. You know, people will go to psychic development classes and all these things to try and heighten their consciousness and awareness. All you have to do is sit with yourself in meditation and clear out your life. The less junk clogging your life, the easier you are as a vessel to connect with spirit. It's that simple. Meditation is the key. I was watching Bobby Allison live last week, and she was talking about that. And I was like, she is so right, because all these things and all these distractions and all this stuff everybody talks about that you don't need any of it. You need to sit with yourself and talk to God, and He'll answer. And that's a message. That's pretty much, I mean, I'm sorry to be irreverent, but that's pretty much how it works. It's all the stuff that we put in our way that prohibits that. And so there are things that will help us with that intuition. If you resonate with crystals, crystals can be a great connection. If you resonate with cards and tarot, that can be a great connection. I Ching, some people use a regular deck of cards, not even tarot, oracle cards. Some people use, there's all kinds of divination tools, pendulums, anything that helps you connect, that's great for you. I use crystals, certain chakra crystals, to help me connect. I read cards. I can use cards. I don't need cards to connect, but they're nice to use. They're fun. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lisa. That picture you put up with you holding all those cats, I didn't even want to comment on it because I was laughing too hard. I'm like, oh my God, she's totally the cat lady now. It was so adorable. And I'm not even a cat person, but that was adorable. So anyway, I digress. So whatever you need to connect, use it in this energy, because we definitely are meant to go into a higher level of consciousness. The other thing I want to say also is, because I've seen a lot of this happening, and even in my own life, some friends recently passed over. I think we're going to see a lot of people passing over from now until the end of the year, more so than normal, because I think, again, this is the clearing out. This is the cleaning of wounds. This is culminations. This is final energy. Especially May 18th, we have a really, really heavy full moon in Scorpio, which is really going to be beautiful energy for culminations, endings, and new beginnings. And so I'll do another video about that. But just know this month, really go back into your spiritual practices. Really do whatever you're really devoted to doing if you've been slacking, because everything is very heightened, and the universe and spirit really, really wants us to be devoted to our consciousness and really take it seriously and bring ourselves to where we really are supposed to be. So let's get to some cards. I'm going to move the camera down unless anyone has a comment or anything they want to say. I will go back to my regular schedule of Tuesday night lives. As I said, I had my Reiki circle last Tuesday, but I will go back to that. And all of my live videos and all of my videos are on Zencuda on YouTube. Zencuda being my other page that I hope you all will like, because mostly everything is posted there and my events are posted there. Also, for those of you who are psychics, healers, light workers, anything in the higher dimensions, I am having a gathering at my home on June 7th, and I would love it if you all could come. It is called Inspire, and the object of this is, it's a $10 exchange, which is really just for refreshments and expenses. my idea is, and what I'm trying to do, and what I hope to do, my intention that I have set for that evening is a networking for all of us, you know, to get together and maybe through what we do, if we can find puzzle pieces fitting, elevate ourselves higher and heal the world more, elevate the vibration in the world. My intention for that evening is I feel a lot of us who are doing some really deep soul work and really elevating and working in the healing professions. Hi, Maria. I feel like a lot of us who are working in the healing professions and in the light worker world and in psychic readings and in healing work, I feel like we need to be among each other and in the purest of hearts, not in, there's a lot of people out there we all know in every profession who aren't sincere in their work. It is my hope on June 7th at this gathering at my home that all of you that come are so pure of heart, because I really want to be in that energy. I need to do that in my humanness, and I need to do it in my divinity. And I feel like there's a lot of other light workers out there that really need to just get together in a room, do some meditation together. I'm going to have some sound healers here. For those of you who know Nicolina Jewell, she's probably going to come and do some tonal healings. And I just want to see what happens. It's going to be an open forum. If somebody feels that they want to come up and do a meditation or chime in, then that's what we're going to do. It's just going to be a bunch of us light workers getting together for a love-in, and I hope you all can make it. I'm just going to basically put us all in a nice room. If it's a beautiful day, we'll gather around a fire pit outside and we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a love-in, and we're going to raise the vibration of the world and each other, because I think that we need each other in this energy, and anyone who is awakened and evolved needs to feel someone else who's awakened and evolved. And I hope my love and intention for that spreads out into everybody. So I'm going to do some cards because I think it's fun. Oh, Michael, I hope you will come. If anybody has any ideas or wants to, you know, PM me if you have something you think we should do that night, June 7th. I picked that night specifically because there's a certain astrological aspect going on that heightens the psychic energy and the ability to connect that evening. So if anybody's a sound healer or anything like that, sound healing is going to be so big in the next couple of years with the way the planets are going. So I'm using regular tarot tonight, which I don't use a lot, believe it or not. I don't really use cards a lot. So, and then I said today, I go to the deck and immediately the trumpet card comes up, which is going to probably come up now. But, so anyway, I'm going to pick some cards just for the energy tonight. And if anybody wants me to pick a card for them, just give a shout out. I'm going to move the camera so you guys can see my table, if I can get it to come down a little bit. So forgive me if I make y'all a little dizzy. I'm going to try not to do that. But hey, I wing everything. I used to always say to people, in every business I've ever had, I say to people, I don't know how to do everything, I just do it. You know, we're all humans, so what could possibly come out? And you know, for those of you who do cards or don't do cards, in my card box, I have my Dead Relative Society, as I like to call it. And in my card box, I always keep a picture of my mom and my dad. When I read, I light a candle in my dining room with their wedding photo, and because my whole family is in that photo from way before I was ever born. And these are soul cards. I got these at a Time for Karma a while back, and they don't have any writing on them. They just have photographs, and I love them because you can read completely psychically with them, being that they don't have any words on them. Sorry about the camera moved. Ta-da! Is that, whoop. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy out there. So if you guys want me to pick a card for you, I would. I'm going to pick a card for Linda. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm just fooling around with the camera. This is probably not the right time to be doing that. My camera's crooked, guys. What am I doing here? Oop. Actually, you can see the table better. Thank you, Spirit. That was a good one. Okay. All right. That good, guys? Okay, so I'm going to pick a card for Linda and Janine, but first I'm going to do a little bit of a spread. So these are soul cards. You can probably find them online. I love these cards because, you know, the pictures are all different, and then this is just the regular tarot. So we're going to shuffle a little bit. Give me some energy, guys. All right, I'm going to do a spread, and then I'm going to pull some cards for Linda, and I don't know who was before her. Joanne. Everybody wants a card. Okay, so I'll do it in order then. Here we go. I'm going to pick a card for the cat lady. Okay, so we'll start. First, we'll do for Lisa Fazio, my artist lady. I love her work. So beautiful. And she's so beautiful. I'm going to pick a card, Linda. I feel your energy coming in. I know you have a lot going on with your dad as well. And so I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I'm going to pick a soul card for you and a tarot card. You can tell I'm rusty with the shuffling, huh? Linda, they're telling me to pick, Lisa, they're telling me to pick 3 cards for you, actually. So I'm going to pick 3 cards for you. Okay, this actually makes sense to me. I feel like you have a lot of worry on your mind, which we know with what you're going through with your dad and stuff. And I feel like we have, the first card that I picked was the Chariot in reverse. And I feel like this card is indicative of you not moving forward on a lot of things, because more than likely I feel like you're preoccupied with some things that are going on in your life. And that would make sense. I know the card is backwards because I'm using an iPad in selfie mode. But the Chariot usually, you know, when it's right side up is moving forward for me. And when it's like this, what it really means is almost like, picture a car at the curb and you have it in neutral. It's not even in park. It's just in neutral and you're waiting. You're like waiting for something to happen before you really move forward with anything major in your life. And I can understand that because I know you do have a sick parent. So that might be indicative of that card. This card also came in reversed, and it's the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know why, but this is just psychically reading this. I'm feeling like this is your mom. I don't know if your mom also is in poor health or not, but I feel like your mom has a great deal of sadness, and I know you're very focused on dad now. But I believe your mom is still on this side. If she is, I would definitely spend some time with her, only because I feel sadness around her. So, and because sometimes when a parent's ill, we kind of focus on one and not the other, and I think mom needs some stuff too. And this is the Strength card. And this is so you, because you are such a strong person. And if you look above the person's head in this picture, they have the infinity symbol. And I feel like that's a very significant symbol for you. I don't know if you use it personally in your life or in your work, but I feel like that has some resonance for some reason. And this to me is very symbolic of you being so strong. But please do not overlook and negate your own needs. I feel like you're so busy worrying about others and taking care of others that you're not nurturing yourself. And don't be afraid to tell someone, hey, I really need some nurturing. I really need some help here. Because I feel like sometimes you can be too strong. And you have unlimited strength. That's why the infinity symbol is here. And I also feel your artistic ability coming through. And I feel like your art is being ignited in so many ways. So just take that with you. I'm going to pull a soul card for you. For some reason they're telling me to pull the card from the bottom. It's so funny. It was the card that came up before. And this is, to me, your creativity. I feel like there is so much creativity coming in for you, and it's almost like you don't even know it. Like you're aware of some of it, but it's like your creativity is actually on fire, but you still don't even have the realization of how deep it goes. And when it finally does come out, which I feel like maybe 3 months or so, you're going to really be doing a whole different medium. You're going to be doing a whole different series, different colors, everything just really ignites for you. So you have a lot to look forward to, even though I know this is a sad time. And take that with you, and I hope that resonates somehow with you. Next, I'm going to pick a card from Michael. Right, Michael. Yep. Michael's in. I'm going to pick some tarot for you, and then we'll pick a soul card for you. They're telling me to pick 2 cards for you, Michael. So, I feel a lot of angelic energy coming in all of a sudden. I feel, do you work in angelic energy or something? Because I feel like I'm supposed to pick this card. Oh my gosh, it's the Trumpet card. I told you this was going to come out tonight. I feel like you, Michael, are working in some kind of real angelic energy. I don't know if you do that with meditation or what. I don't really know you. But this card is rewards for me. This is total rebirth. A lot of readers read this and they see somebody coming out of the grave and they say, oh, it's rebirth. And it is. But for me, it's the rewards. This card is very Saturn-like. And so I feel like you're doing some deep work right now. And I feel like you're very surrounded by angelic energy, when I started to read for you and bring in a card for you, I just felt angels come in a big swoosh. So just take that with you. And like I said, they want me to pick a second card, which this card is reversed. I'm going to show it this way. This card shows someone who is trapped, but they're not really. They're trapped in illusion, because if you look, the way the swords are placed, all they have to do is walk forward and they're free. So whatever you've been meditating on, whatever challenge or issue is in the forefront now, you're surrounded by angels with that. But I also feel like you're holding yourself back for some reason and not taking something that's being offered you, not answering an invitation to do something. It might be with work. Answer that invitation. Don't hold back. I think sometimes you're not forceful enough in your assertion. You have the talent to do whatever that is. That's what they're telling me. So I hope that makes sense. And then a soul card for you. Yeah, definitely they're telling me, and I know this is true because all of a sudden they're building heat up in my body, which they do. There's something being offered to you, and you're not taking it as seriously as you should. So don't let that slip away. You definitely have the talent to pursue that. Okay? Soul card. It's going to be this one. Okay. If you look at... Oops, my crystal just fell. If you look at this soul card, this is someone... This is a rebirth card as well, just like the judgment card that came in. A lot of rebirth going on for you. And I feel like it's rewards. I feel like you've been through the worst of your work. Deep, deep shadow work. You're coming out of that. Angels surrounding you. And if you look, he's got like a rosebud, almost like a lotus type in his hands. That's really indicative of rewards for me and you coming in. And if you look at the side of the card that has the light, it's kind of rainbow looking. So to me, that's very angelic energy, but also I feel like you're going to be doing work with galactic energy, you know, Pleiades, things like that. If you are not already, that's going to come in for you this year, maybe a little bit more in a few months. But this is complete rebirth. Whatever you're working on, my friend, keep working on it, because you are not trapped. You are not in restriction. You sometimes put restriction on yourself by not having the trust and the faith in your abilities. But you can move forward if you look. You know, don't be blind to your own ability. Rewards are coming. And look at this beautiful new growth and reward. All this light coming in for you. You've got the light behind you, so take advantage of that. All right, I hope that made sense to you, and I hope that helps you with any decisions you're trying to make. Catherine is next, right? Yep, Catherine. Okay, Catherine, pulling a card for you. Catherine, I feel a lot of light energy around you. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you had a good day today or something, because I feel like you are lighter than I usually, you know, I know we message sometimes. I feel like, yeah, a lot of lightness of being around you. Were you out in the sunshine today or something? Here's a card for you. This is, yeah, this kind of fits the energy that I'm feeling. I feel like your battles are starting to pass, that you have maybe one hurdle to get over, and then it's smooth sailing for you. I think things are letting up, things are relieving, releasing. I think you're really coming into some really good energy, you know, movement. I think that there's one last hurdle and then things are going to be good. I don't know if you're doing something different or new, but I feel like that. And then this is the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is you. This is you sitting on the throne. You are coming into a time when you are going to be more in control of your karma and your destiny. I feel like you need to kind of take the bull by the horns a little bit. And this is also a card that shows me, if you look at the leaves on the staff, on the wand, those leaves really make me feel like you've got some new, fresh things coming. So stay in that energy. Definitely go outdoors a lot. For some reason, I feel like you were outdoors in the sun and nature today, and that's really what you need. So even if it's just sitting on the patio or something like that, stay in that energy of just like sunlight, enlightenment, rebirth. A lot of rebirth today, but that's that Saturn, Pluto energy. And I'm going to pick a soul card for you, hon. Okay, they're telling me to pick, they want this, no, this card. Okay, if you look at this card, I'm going to turn it this way. If you look at this card, see the butterfly? You can see it. These soul cards could go either way. Even the backs of them don't have a pattern. That's, you know, this is a beautiful butterfly pattern. And if you look, it looks like someone is reaching out for it. And if you look at it this way, you can see the form, right? Look at this beautiful woman. She's walking and the butterflies are just flying by her. This is a new time. You're starting to come into new beginnings. So just keep the faith on that, Catherine, because I feel like the energy is definitely changing for you. Stay in the light. Stay in the beautiful, beautiful light. And again, angelic energy coming in very, very strong tonight. Okay, next we have Joanne. Okay, Joanne. Joanne, I don't know you, and I feel like I'm getting a male energy coming in that's past. I don't know if it's dad or a generation behind dad, like granddad, but I have somebody coming in. I don't know, Joe. I'm getting a name Joe, but it's weird because I feel like your name Joanne was for somebody. You know, like you were named after somebody or something. I don't know. Okay, so now they want this card and this card. Okay, so I've got, again, the same cards came out. And you guys saw me shuffle. This is also indicative of you coming out of grief. This card I'm getting psychically for you. Coming out of grief, coming out of a sad time. This is, you know, really moving forward. I feel like this next season, especially once we turn into the summer solstice, I feel like your energy really changes and you have more vitality, much better energy. So just hang in there because that is definitely coming. And this is King of Swords. I feel like this is the energy of the person that I felt coming in for you, a J name, Joe or something. And I feel like a Capricorn energy very much aligns with the current energy in the universe right now of transformation for you. There's something to do with this energy or this male who's passed that's watching over you. Almost see him pulling you forward, leading you out of a darker time and coming into the light. This person is someone who, if you go into the energy and remember the good times and the love, deep abiding love, it will bring you into much light. So just take that with you. I'm going to pull a soul card for you. Whoop, this flew right out of the deck, so I'm going to use these cards. Yeah, this is, these are two cards that came flying out of the deck, which to me means I need to use them. I think this is where you're at. I think that this card here, the first one with the person kind of curled up, is the grief. You can see the darkness around them. And then this is coming out of the grief, rebirth. Look at all the beautiful energy that you have inside of you that wants to come out and be reborn into the universe. So if you have been feeling sad or in this grief, no, you want this. And I feel like the summer solstice is really, really significant for you in some way. So whenever that comes, June 21st, make sure you do some kind of a ceremony. But that's what I'm getting for you. So please come out of this cave and go into the light. We need you in the world, and I feel like you do healing work or something. I don't know you, but I feel like there's something just by your presence, people feel better usually. So come into the world, come into the light. This male who has passed over is actually, I feel like pulling you, like right under the rib cage and the core, almost like pulling you like this. Like, come with me, come into the world, come into light. I want to show you how beautiful you are. So I take that with you. I hope that resonates with you. Linda, I'm going to pull a card for you. I didn't do a card for Linda, right? No, I have Linda and Janine to do. Linda, I'm going to pull a card for you. And then Janine. I got to read this out. Okay, everybody's watching. Okay. This is for Linda. Linda, where are you? Okay. Linda, for some reason I'm getting children coming in for you. Not baby children, but like maybe adult children, I don't know. Or near adult. I'm going to pick this card. Page of Pentacles. This usually is a male child for me. And I feel like it's somebody who's got something to do with business, computers, communication. So if you're waiting to hear from a son or someone who's like a son to you, I feel like you're going to get a communication from him. I don't know if he's waiting for an offer or a job or something to come through, but if he is, that's what I'm getting. And it's positive. It's in the affirmative. or it might even be for you. And the affirmation comes in through the computer or social media. Yeah, this is definitely a child. I don't know if you have a child who's in challenge of some kind, but that's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. This is a health card to me, and it shows that the health is good. So you're going to receive some communication from either a male sibling or a male son, probably email or through social media, something to do with the computer, and it's either about a job or health is positive. And I'm going to pick a soul card for you. But as soon as I went into the energy, I felt child. I felt like your child or something. So, oh, these cards are flying out tonight, so I'm going to pick that one. Beautiful card that came out. Ooh, where do you see that one? Okay, and I'm going to pick two. For some reason, they want me to pick you two soul cards for you. This is the first soul card that came flying out, Linda. And this is so beautiful to me. It's just like, look at the fire all around. And the beautiful emblem, which means, I feel like it's the Holy Spirit. So just know whoever is on your mind, this male that's on your mind, is absolutely filled with health and good things. Almost like a miraculous energy. So if you know who that is, it's beautiful. And then this was the second card, light all around them. This is like someone who is just, you know, awakening, just waking up, awakening, coming into their own. All right? So take that with you. I hope that resonates and makes sense. Okay. And the next person is Janine. Janine Gemelli. I'm going to pull a card for you. Janine is my Reiki junkie, for those of you who don't know Janine. Janine comes to Reiki every month, and she is a Reiki junkie because she's been with me since my very first, I think, Reiki circle, which was like 4 years ago. And so, soul cards, yeah, they're great. I love them, Michael. They're just... every time I read, it's different with them because the pictures are so beautiful and it just resonates. And I have to tell you, I don't know if it's the artist energy or what, but every time I use those cards, the soul cards, the box dropped on the floor. I'll show it to you guys. Every time I use the soul cards, like the reading is so like what it is. And I actually use, this is the box, and I actually use them a lot with family matters and with my family. And when I pull cards from that, it's always right on the money. Like, unbelievable with the messages I get with them. Okay, so this is for Janine Gemelli. Janine, we got the King of Swords in reversed. Okay. This is a Capricorn energy for me, and I know that you have Capricorn energy in your chart. So I think that this is indicative of you hanging in there, kind of, because there's a lot of Capricorn transits going on right now. And you are definitely in transformation. So I would take this card as something you need to have patience with. Just rewards are coming, so be patient. And then this is the next one that came, which was a Page of Swords. This is communication, but it's delayed. There's something coming in for you. I almost feel like there's a relationship that wants to come in for you. And for some reason, it is delayed. So just be patient, because I think love is coming, Mama. I think you got love coming. I'm going to pick a card from the soul cards. Yeah, and this person coming in is very offbeat, like very unique. So, okay, they want me to pick this one. Oh, Janine, look at this. This is so pretty. This is, you can do this way or this way. And I feel like you have too much going on. You need to clear out some things and really focus on the things that are really meaningful and valuable to you. And what I want to say is really think long and hard about that, because that's also this Capricorn and Saturn energy. Really narrow down to the things that you want in your life and what you don't want, and spend time and focus on those things. Because remember, guys, our energy goes to wherever we focus, that's where the energy goes. So don't focus on anything you don't want in your life. This one is for Miss Judy. I love Judy. I actually thank you so much for the referral recently, Judy. I hope your friend enjoyed her reading. I miss Judy. I haven't seen you in a while. Judy has great energy. Okay, we're going to pull a card for you. I don't know why. They keep telling me to pull 2 cards for everybody. Okay. they just have me doing something different for Miss Judy. All right, it's going to be this one and this one. Okay. Thank you all for joining me tonight. All right, Miss Judy, the first card is the Hermit, and it's in reverse. And what this is telling me is maybe you've been spending a little too much time at home and you need to get out. And I think you're starting to do that now that the nicer weather comes. But I think life is going to change for you somehow. I feel like your daily routine is going to change. And you're going to start to do more of the things that you love to do. I feel like you're letting go of some kind of restrictive thing. And that you're coming into a time in your life when you're going to do the things that you've been putting aside and always want to do. And the Hermit card is going to go this way. And you see how he holds up his lantern, and you're going to start to really lighten up your life, and you're going to start to do things that you love and enjoy to do that you've been waiting to do for a while. I just feel like that. And especially because it's accompanied by this card, and this card is a card of absolute new beginnings and rebirth. You can see the new growth and the leaves coming in off the sword. And to me, this is one of the best cards in the deck for a complete like lifestyle change and new beginning. And aces are always new beginning for me. And I feel like this is something where you start to really feed your soul. You have time to do it. It's almost like all the hobbies you always wanted to do, now you're going to start to do them. So I guess something is changing in regards to that. And then I'm going to pick a soul card for you. Yeah, I feel like almost like your life just like the energy like lightens up, like you get to do all the things you always wanted to do. I think that's beautiful. And this is the card that I picked for you for soul cards. And this actually, I feel like this is indicative of, I'm going to try to explain this, what I get right, because it's hard to articulate it. But I feel like this is two people, but they're both you. It's like the past and the future. And I feel like you're shedding one version of yourself and you're going to be coming into an entirely new version. Almost like the energy that I feel is like someone kicking up their heels and being like, woohoo! So you're about to embark on a really beautiful time of your life. So just take that with you. All right, Miss Judy. Boy, that's a great read for you. Okay, and I'm just going to pull up my... Hi, Jackie. How are you? I'm going to pull a card for Jackie. Haven't seen Jackie in a while either. Jackie always has like the coolest posts. Like it's always so funny, and I want to share them, but I'm like... No, I can't share them because sometimes they're a little bit on like the cutting edge side, and I'm like, yeah, but they're hysterical stuff. So, okay, Jackie, I feel like this is your card and this is your card. Okay. So the first one is the Page of Swords again. Everybody's getting communications tonight. So Jackie, this is actually, I got to look at the other card because they're telling me to do that, and the reward card. I feel like, I don't know if you're with somebody or not, but I feel like there's like a romance coming in for you, but I don't know if you do anything online or it's somebody like, I don't feel like it's a stranger. I almost feel like the Page of Swords is communication for me, and usually online communication. I feel like somebody comes in online, but it's like a friend of a friend kind of thing. It's not like a dating site. It's like you're on Facebook or Insta or whatever, and somebody just like, you know, starts to friend you and you start a conversation. And I feel like this person is the reward. Like you've been, like my daddy used to always say, you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you get to the Prince Charming. And I feel like that's your story. And I feel like this person's coming in. So I don't know why, because I usually don't get like romance like that, but I got that for Janine and now for you. And I'm going to pick a soul card for you. So you may even be in a relationship now, but there's a flirtation coming. Like I feel like there's somebody that is going to be like very attractive to you. So take that with you. I don't know, baby. Okay, and then this is your card, which is actually a tree of life to me. I know these cards are reflecting because of the light. The tree of life for me. And if you look at the woman at the bottom, it's like she's sitting Indian fashion. And I guess I'm not supposed to say Indian fashion. She's sitting cross-legged, you know, and she has the world coming at her, by her, and the tree of life growing out of her head. And so this card to me is that you have everything that you need at your fingertips. It's inside you. Everything that you are looking for is absolutely inside you. If you look at the leaves on the tree, it almost looks like they have people in them and hearts. and all kinds of things. So this is you having to go within. And once you are understanding of the love in your life that you have for yourself, that person comes in, and he's going to come in through the internet. And if you look at the belly, it almost looks like the silhouette of two faces, and then it changes back into like earth, a globe, that kind of thing. So to me, this energy means that someone is coming in for you, but they come in for you at a time when you realize all the love you have for yourself, and they emulate that. That's beautiful. And I think that's everybody. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Linda. John. Hey, John. Who else is out here now? Got Janine. Judy. Oh, you're retiring. Oh my God, that's the energy. That's definitely the energy, because it's like kicking up your heels kind of a thing. You're probably going to travel and everything. Hi, Vito. How are you? Whoops. Hi, Vito. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while either. Come to my house on the 7th. We're having a big love-in. I'm going to tag you in that. I'm going to pull a card for you too, John. It's not too much trouble. My buddy, John Minette, I love him. His grandbaby is the cutest grandbaby on the planet. No offense to anybody else's grandbaby, but she looks like a mini him. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card. And I think that's probably going to be it, because I haven't even eaten dinner tonight. Oh, this fell out of the deck for you, John, so that's you. And then one more. Okay, John, first of all, you've got a celebration coming. I don't know if that baby's been christened or not yet, but I feel like there's a christening coming. And I feel like you're going to go to that celebration. It's going to be like the time of your life. And this is the other card that flew out. And this is the Empress. And I got to tell you, Johnny Kens, this is a woman. This is a woman. I feel like you got some unfinished business, baby. And this woman is like sitting on her throne waiting for you to come and either finish the business or take it forward. So I don't know what's going on with your personal life, and I don't want to say too much, but I'm getting that energy that there's a woman with, you got unfinished business with a lady. So go finish that business, dude. All right? Alrighty. Anybody have any comments, questions? Jackie. Oh, you're welcome. Jackie, it's not me. It's what the Spirit says, you know. So thank you, though. Hi, Enza. John, Jackie. Yeah, call me anytime, Jack. And Karen's watching. Hi, Karen. Karen is an amazing tarot reader as well. Karen also teaches tarot. Karen, I gave your name to somebody in my astrology class last Friday. They were asking if I knew anybody who taught tarot. Her name is Maria, so you may get a call from her. Hope everything's going well with you. I actually was at the Eyes of Learning on Sunday, walking around a little bit. I know you were reading there. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well, soul sister. So I'm picking a card now for... Mia is gorgeous, John. Very gorgeous. Okay, I think I did everybody. So now I'm going to just pick some cards for the energy in the world. We have the Death card reversed. And boy, does this really talk about what I talked about in the beginning of the video. This is transformational energy. When this is in reverse for me, this really means, but, it's Soma Life in Huntington. She's doing tarot classes this summer, Karen. So PM her if you want to go, because if you want to learn tarot, Karen's been doing tarot all her life. So definitely she's a teacher. So the Death card upside down for me is really indicative of the energy going on in the world with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that we have bringing in the South Node. I'm going to pick another card to confirm this, and it's the Page of Wands, which is communication to me, deep, fiery communication for me with the Page of Wands. And this goes hand in hand with this card simply because right now we have so much transformational energy in the world. And that's going to be with us towards the end of the year, especially when the South Node starts to come in even closer to that energy. January 11th, 2020 is the energy. I'm going to switch the camera back on me now. January 11th, 2020 is absolutely the energy that is, the culmination of years of work that we've all done. So you want to really, like I said before, be devoted in your spiritual practices, really raise your consciousness level. Everything we do in our life and everything that we have in our life and we value in our life is a direct result of where our consciousness level is. So you want to elevate that to become the highest potential that you can be. And that's really the message of Zencuda. I hope you'll like that page and join me on Zencuda on YouTube and also on my website. That's going to be coming out towards the end of this month. There'll be online classes and all kinds of stuff to do there. And so the mission of Zencuda is really to raise our vibration and raise the vibration of the world and give us a soul support community where we are all in unity and helping each other raise the vibration. So, Georgia, what would you call a light worker with no specific modality? Well, I can give you the phrase that I've been using on all of my things, and I wouldn't be upset if you used it. I think we're all just inspirational beings, and I have that on all of my media. I have that on all of my banners, my cards, everything. I think that we're inspirational beings, and I think that just by raising our vibration in the world, we're inspiring people and getting inspired by others as we open. You know, the trick is just keeping open, because we always are going back and forth from 3D to 5D. We're in the human condition, and we're inspirational beings, you know. But I think the term light worker can also be used for anyone with no specific modality, because we're just in the light and we're awakened, and that's what that means. I myself, I mean, if I had to label myself, I'm basically a seer. You know, I'm a seer, I'm a prophet, I'm an inspirational being. Am I psychic? Yes, so is everybody else in the universe, quite frankly. That's our ability. We just, it's whether you choose to open it or not. Can we all speak to people on the other side? Absolutely. It's whether or not you choose to open it. So I don't take credit for anything that I don't feel everyone can do. It's like taking credit because you have blue eyes. Well, I have nothing to do with that. So just wanted to open my gifts, so I opened my eyes, you know. So I'm going to pick a soul card, and then we're probably going to sign off for tonight. You can find me on Zencuda on YouTube, on Facebook, and also on Zencuda Official on Instagram. Beautiful card. This, for some reason, when I saw this, I felt like myself, and I also felt Blessed Mother energy. And if you look at this card, look at all the light in the chest area, right? And the resonance around the head, a little bit of a halo. This is absolutely confirmation of the work that we are all supposed to be doing in the world. And this is confirmation for me that we are all supposed to lift each other up and raise each other up. And that there, as we grow our own consciousness, so too does the vibration of the world raise. And so we're really here to heal each other. And I hope you'll come with me and join the community that I have and the soul support that I have. Because I learn from all of you guys every day. Hi, Rana. I learn from you guys every day. And this is truly the love that I source my life from, and it raises me higher. So June 7th, we're having a gathering at my home, all for any light worker that wants to come, as long as you are pure of heart and bring a really high vibration with you. We're going to have sound healing and networking, just a good time. I'll probably have the fire pit lit, and I don't know, we may have 10 people, we may have 100. I'm open to it. I'm just setting my intention for the world. So thank you so much. If you'd like a private reading, you know where to find me. Bad time right now, found out they found a mass in my lung, and I just finished cancer. Joanne, I'm going to send out healing for you. That's probably that grief that I'm feeling. Please put yourself in the light. It's very, very important when you're going through any kind of a disease. You know, I am a survivor. It's very important for you to stay in the light. And everyone here who's tuning in right now is going to send you light. If you all would please humor me in doing that and sending you the intention of healing. Joanne, I also right now am tapping into anyone in the universe who has overcome what your challenge is, and will send you the energy of the triumph of that challenge. I'm giving that to you now, and hopefully those vibrations are being sent to you. So stay in the light, honey. Just stay in the light, and that's all you can do. And there you go. Judy's sending you some light. Everybody will send you some light. And of course, this video will be available for playback. They're always set up on the YouTube and on all the Facebook channels. So like me on Zencuda, tune in. I'll be back next Tuesday night, if not before, if something resonates with me. I love you all. And again, you can PM me for a private reading here or through the Zencuda Facebook site. And you can find me on Zencuda on YouTube, Zencuda Official on Instagram. And of course, that website's coming up soon. I'm meeting with my media people on Friday. Thank you so much. I love you all. But I got to go because I'm starving. Didn't get home from my earthbound job till 6:30 tonight. All right. Mwah. Bye-bye. Thanks, John. Good night. Good night, everybody. I love you too. Share my video. Let's raise the vibration of the world, damn it. Bye-bye.